Hi, welcome to Learning Monkey. I'm Vikram. In this class, we'll try to understand radio and checkbox input form fields in HTML. In our previous class, we had an introduction to form fields. There we have discussed the basic form fields, which are type is equal to text, input type is equal to text, type is equal to password, and type is equal to submit. If you haven't watched that video, please watch that video and come back here. So let's start our discussion with radio and checkboxes. What is a radio button? Radio buttons is a way to allow users to select one option from a group. For example, if you are having a group of options, so these two, radio and checkboxes, are used to select options from the group of options. If you are having a group of options and the user has to select only one option, in such cases, we use radio buttons. What about checkboxes? The opposite of it. We are having a group of options, but user can select multiple options. Checkboxes is a way to allow user to select multiple options from a group. So user can select multiple options from a group. So what can be the real world examples where we use these examples? For example, if you want the user to select gender. So in the case of gender, the user has to select only one option. Two options are not allowed, right? So in such cases, we use radio buttons. What about checkboxes? For example, if you want to collect the favorite fruits of the user. Now, in such cases, we use checkboxes. Favorites are going to be multiple options, right? So we are going to provide all the fruits options. From those fruits options, he can select multiple. Okay, and how they can be implemented. What is the syntax for radio and checkboxes? So this is the syntax to implement radio and checkboxes. Input type is equal to radio. With this implementation, one radio button will get created. And similarly, this is for checkbox. So let's start our discussion by using an example. Here is the example where we are using the radio buttons. So one option can be selected from the multiple options. And this is an example. This is the implementation of checkboxes. Multiple options can be selected. So that is we are going to implement this now on our Visual Studio Code. Let's go on to our Visual Studio Code. So here we are going to implement this. How it can be implemented? So we'll start with radio buttons. So how it can be implemented? Input type is equal to, so here type is equal to what we want to create, a radio button. A radio button will get created. So let's see what will get implemented. So with this implementation, what will get created is a radio button has been created here, just a radio button. Okay, but we have to design in a better way. How that can be done? So we have to give label for this radio button. What does this radio button is used for? That has to be understood for the user. So how that can be created? So we have to create that effect of so that the user can understand. So we have an option called label. So the label is used, and what is the name of this label? The name of this label is, so what is the content of this label? It is male. Okay. And what about the other one, female? So I'll just break here. No, we'll continuously use it. Okay. And here we will break. We'll go on to the next line. And here, what is this radio button is used for? This radio button is used for female. Means this label is for, this radio button is for female, and this label is going to make the user understand that this is, if your option is female, just click on this radio button. So that is the effect that we are trying to create. Okay. So let's see the output and see how it will get displayed. So this is how the things are getting displayed. So, but see here, as we click on this, these two are getting selected. Why? Okay. So here comes a very important attribute, which is name attribute. So name and ID. So these two attributes are to be implemented or to be given for every form field. Okay, so we'll discuss that. So what is the use of name field, and what is the use of name field in specification, in particularly with respect to the radio field. radio button. So that also we'll try to understand. So here I am giving the name as gender. So this name is gender, the name is gender, the name of this form field is gender. And what is the use of name field? The use of name field is by using the names of your form fields, the server will process your data. Try to understand this. That is the reason why we have to give name fields for every form field. And what about ID? So ID is to uniquely identify every form field. If you don't give IDs to your your form fields, you will get warnings. Okay, so some of the browsers will give different kinds of warnings. Means every form field in a form has to be uniquely identified. Okay, now we will discuss. So this concept is very important. At this point of time, you try to understand only this much. Name is used to process the data at the server side. By using the names, the server will process the data. ID is used to uniquely identify every form field. Okay, that is what the use of name and ID. And we'll try to understand the importance of this name and ID as and when the context comes. Okay, let's make this as male, and the name of this is, I'll keep this as gender 2. See, we'll see the difference. Gender 2, and we will make it as gender 1. And what about the ID field? The ID is equal to female. Okay, this ID, the ID of this particular input field is female. So now let's see the output. What happens? Now with this, will we get that radio effect? No, we are not going to get. So how can we get that? So here the technique is, you have to give, if group of elements are to be grouped into a radio field, you have to give it, the names of those group of elements should be the same. Then only we are going to get that effect of radio buttons, means selecting only one element from the group of elements. So how we are going to get that effect is, the name field of all the elements which belong to the same group of radio fields, then all the names of those fields has to be should have same names. Now if you give this in this way, let's see the output. Okay, this is how the radio, this is how one option can be selected from the group of options by using radio buttons. Okay, let's implement the checkbox options. And here is the option for checkbox. How can be implemented? Input type is equal to checkbox. Now with this, what happens? One single checkbox will get created. Okay, now we have to make that. See here, one single checkbox has been created, and for clarity we will make break twice. Okay, now a checkbox has been created. So have we created a name and ID? No. Name is equal to, what is the name? Name is, what we will do is apple. So we will try to give, and ID is equal to, again the ID, what we will do is, we will make it as apple. And there is one more attribute to understand here, it is value. So for every radio and checkboxes, the value has to be given. So what is this value means? If you send this data to the server, so for example, so try to understand this. What is the importance of this value is, once I selected this and I submitted this form. Now what is the value for this? So this field has been selected. This field has been selected. What is that value? If that field is selected, what value has to be taken by the server? That is provided in the value field. So you will understand these concepts as we go on. So just try to understand, the value is the value field, the value given in this field, in the value attribute of the form field will be taken at the server side. Okay. So this is the value to be considered if this option is selected. And what about this? Here, if this option is selected, what is the value of that selection? the value of that selection is apple. Okay, so that is the use of this value attribute. And what about the label? Label is, we will make it as apple, and we'll break here so that it will look clear. Okay, and what about the other options? So I'll just copy paste it and we will see. And the third option is for three options. The other one is banana, and I'll make it as banana here, value. And here the name of this attribute is banana. And for this also the ID should be unique, right? Banana. And what about this? And this is for oranges. This form field is for oranges, and the ID is oranges. And here also the value is oranges. And here the label for this is oranges. Okay, so this is how the checkboxes can be created. And here the logic for name will not get applied for checkboxes. The name logic will get applied only for radio buttons. Try to get this point. Okay, so let's see the output and how it will get displayed. See here, we can choose multiple options, and this is working fine. Only one option is getting selected. So that is the purpose of radio, right? So this is all about radio and checkboxes form fields in HTML. Hope you got the clarity on this concept. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel and press bell icon for the latest updates. And if you have any doubts regarding this concept, please post your doubt in the comment section below. If you feel that this video is helpful to you, please give us a like, and please share this video with your friends so that they will also get benefited. Thanks for watching.